This is regarding the group population and your work group. Now we have to onboard one application, which is a database application. So for that reason we have to create a dummy. This is a database, if you see. This is one database I created here. Use track. OK. Track. OK. Show tables. In this, we have to label user and the capabilities. OK. Select star from users. Bring all the users. So this is a user data that we have. So what we have? We have ID here. If you see, this is the employee ID, but the attribute name, the tracking uses ID. OK. Username, we have first name, we have last name. Via email, via. This is the 5 basically columns we have in the another table, that is capability. Here you see, we have again ID, different ID, a basically employee ID, and we have the capability. There is no username, first name. So basically now I told you right, whenever we do application boarding, we have to analyze the data. So this is a data we have to analyze. Now, if you see, we'll go to different scenarios. The first one is, you have user data and access data in separate table. The first one will provide you the information. This is a user. This is the first time. Last time. This is an ID, employee ID. Basically, the second table is basically from the employee ID. You can check the access. Let's, for example, this is 1, 2, or 3 years. I'm glad you have James Smith. So James Smith has the super access, basically simple. So these are the 4 entry. If you see, assume that this is the employee of James Smith. So that means James Smith has this 4 access super approved. Reject input. So first thing is basically first scenarios. We have data into a separate table. Right. Second thing is this ID is basically match with the employee ID, so we have to use this ID for the coalition. Okay, now the merging also. You see, data is coming into multiple rows. We go here. Application definition. Let me close other tabs. Add new application. Track. Basically is a time machine application timesheet application. As per admin. Application type, JDBC. It's a non-operative application, so we will not select this option. Simply go to conversation, provide the basic details. User is root. Password is root. This is a sample for URL you have to update. This MySQL host is localhost. Call on CC6. That is the default port and after DB name is track. Okay, this is a time database. Now, this is a mandatory. If you see, the star is a mandatory. Okay, what query we need to put here? This is the one we need to use. Why we need to use this? If you see this, we have user data into separate table. And this is actually written to separate table. If you run this query, it will give you all data together into one table. So that's why we need to use a join array, outer join. So which will basically merge both table data, and it will bring into one single view. This is the view. Now you have all the data in one group. So, if you see, this is an ID of Aaron Nicholas. Username, first name, last name, email ID access. So now both table data is merged here. So we will use this query here. Okay. That's mission. That's mission successful. Right. Now save this up. Let's go to Schema. Same thing. Click on this button. This course can attribute. Now you see, it shows all that. Can use for uniqueness. Which attribute we can use for the independence. ID we can use for uniqueness. Right. So we'll copy ID and we'll put here in the end. Which attribute we can use for uniqueness. Which attribute we can use for the display purpose. We can use username for the display purpose. Copy username. Put here. Do the preview. This is a data coming. Now save this application. Open this again. Track application. Go to configuration here. See this. We have to perform the merging. James Smith record is coming into photo. Same for Mary Johnson. Same for Robert Brown. So we have to merge this whole room. Go to a merging. Data needs to be merged. Yes. Index column, a unique column. We can choose ID. Okay. Choose ID here. Which column should be merged? We have to merge capability here. Right. For this user. For example, James Smith. You see, all the values are same. This is the only thing that we need to merge, basically. Capability. So search here. Capability. Save this. Okay. Now there's one more thing we need to do here. This is access. Right. So we need to tell SailPoints in the next capability. We have to do this. User can hold multiple values for the capability attribute. This attribute needs is entitlement. We see an access. So we need to select this, and this should be managed. Right. So save this. Save this application. Everything is done. Go to task. Create a new aggregation task from the template. Let's say that account. Aggregation. Select the application. Back. OK. Save and execute. Now you see it is giving error. Data should be sorted in the sending order. OK. Now, for this reason, you see disable ordering check, saying this is not configured. So what we have to do is go back to the SailPoint. You are asking right, what is a bank?